after 1 year, we make everybody owners of the company. And so we give them ownership. They don't have to pay for it. We say the hardest thing about 3+1 is getting into 3+1. And as I look at it, Peter, we are a puzzle. Each piece of the puzzle is what each person brings to the company. And with that, we just create the most incredible picture. I always believe, Peter, that I'm at the very bottom. Everybody's above me. And I believe if I put everybody first, that will trickle down to where we have done our job. I bet you there's a direct link, Peter, that if you look at the individuals that you serve, the impact they've had on this community, on the United States and around the world is amazing. And that's because of Adrian Jules. And that's where I just think, and I'm willing to put my signature on it.
Welcome to Thread Talks, where we stitch together tales of style and substance. Join us as we chat with industry icons, master tailors, innovators, and business experts. We'll discuss how to look and feel your best. Explore how fashion shapes our lives, the artistry behind custom clothing, and the deep stories woven into the fabric of our identities. Here's your host, Peter Roberti of Adrian Jules.
Welcome back to Thread Talks. Super excited about our guest today, Joe Rulison, founder of 3+One. What a tremendous opportunity we have here. So, Joe, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Peter, are you kidding me? It's because of you that I'm here. So how could I not want to be on here and share the story? I'm absolutely thrilled. So thank you.
You got it. Thank you. So again, this is what a treat here. You've been an icon in the Rochester industry or Rochester area. So it's just, again, just to talk with you is just awesome. So thank you. I wanted to just, before we kind of jump into a bunch of different things, Joe, if you could just kind of walk us through your journey, because you've owned businesses, you've sold them, you've got another business that you've been doing now for quite some time. Could you just tell us a little bit about what your journey has looked like so far?
Peter, one of the greatest movies I think of all times is The Greatest Showman. And the reason I bring that up is that you have the opening song being A Million Dreams. And when you look back over the period of the years that I've been in business, it's over a span of over 40 years of being in the financial business market. And the song says it all, A Million Dreams. I've just always believed that I'm a dreamer. I dream in color. That's why I wear the clothes that I wear. And at the same point, it's a journey. And it is exactly, use the word journey. I use the word dream. And I have individuals saying, well, you bought and sold the company. What they have to realize is it's all been one grand plan. And that is, I've had this long-term plan of where I wanted to be, and where I wanted to be is where I am right now. Wow. And it's exciting because it just took a lot of passion. It took a lot of incredible people, those that were there to support the dream and to make the dream. And at the same point, we just put it together and just continued. And over the course of time, I just believe a journey is well-rounding yourself so that you can get the most holistic perspective and to get the most that you can offer. And I love dealing with the public. Yeah. I'm a public official while also being a business owner. I've been involved with higher ed, have been involved with town, county government. And it's just the passion of that. And you love to bring it through and to know that everything I wanted to do and where I thought it was going to go is right here, having the opportunity to deal with people day in and day out, to know that we're making a difference for them. Sure. And what's exciting, in December, we have brought those communities that we've worked with over $2 billion more money than they ever would have made. And they never would have made it had it not been for 3+One and the team of, incredible individuals around me. So it's all part of knowing we're making a difference, social conscious difference, of making a difference in the community you live and having an impact that others, only dream about, but we made it a reality.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm curious, how much? I think one of the things that's kind of overlooked with like entrepreneurship and running a business is like the individual's mindsets or their dreams to believe that it's possible. Like, it sounds like that vision and that those dreams that was a huge role in where you are today. I mean, could you just unpack that for a little bit and why that's so important? Why you think that's so important, especially, if people were to start out, running a business or, to start a new business, why that could be important?
I have to tell you, Peter, Rochester would not be where it is today if it wasn't for dreamers and if it wasn't for innovators and if it wasn't for entrepreneurs. And for those that had a passion to say, you know what, I've got an idea. And my advice to those individuals, you have an idea, then go for it, because you never know what's going to make a difference. And I also look at it and say, you can't be afraid of failing, because when you fail, you continue to figure out what it is that's going to work. And when it works, I got to tell you, it really works.
Yeah.
And it's that passion, that gut. And if your gut tells you, you got to do it, then you got to do it. And you look at, Adrian Jules, I'm sure it was a dream. I'm sure that there were things that were tough along the way.
Sure.
But yet, look at the difference that you've made. You've made a difference in my life. And I got to tell you, when you made a difference in my life, you have with, so many other people, because I think it's just all interconnected.
Yeah, that's, I'm interested to understand, like, as it's funny, as you make an impact on people's lives and also team members, and
Right.
How do you keep them, because 3+One has been around for how long now, Joe? And you guys,
This is our 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you keep them? How do you keep them engaged? Because you guys, I feel like, are growing. Every time I talk to you guys, are just continue to grow. And how do you keep them engaged and motivated? What do you tell them?
Well, I think a couple things. First, we just hired our 29th team member today, and who came from University of Rochester, University of Simon School, and she comes from the country of Georgia. And we're thrilled that Miriam's going to be another individual that is coming across country, across the world, to be part of 3+One. And as you look at it, it's all about being part of a team. We're all working with one another and we're interconnected. And as I look at it, Peter, we are a puzzle. Each piece of the puzzle is what each person brings to the company. And with that, we just create the most incredible picture. And the picture doesn't get created unless you have opposite ends, you have the corners, you have the sides, you have the middle. And as you grow the team, you grow the size of the picture, and it just becomes bigger and bigger. And what was New York was the Northeast, now is the United States. And we have individuals now that can take us across, the U.S. boundaries and go across seas and overseas. And the way that you make that work is to let every individual know that, first of all, we're here to exceed not only our clients' expectations, but each of our own expectations. And we also, after 1 year, we make everybody owners of the company. And so we give them ownership. They don't have to pay for it. We say the hardest thing about 3+One is getting into 3+One. With that, we have a passion towards our clients. And when you do that, everybody has a thumbprint on the business and as we grow it. And so every piece fits into that puzzle, makes a great picture, and just continues to expand. And I have to tell you, our picture is going to be the world. And it's every single community in the U.S. and then beyond the United States. And so that's what's exciting. So it continues to build, and we all support one another as you do within a puzzle. And it's really neat. And it's the team that makes it. It's the individuals here that all make it. And together we've created an incredible picture, and it's just continuing to get better.
I love that. It's just the clarity as you talk about that. It's just, it's super, it just moves me. It's super powerful. That's awesome. So, hey, if we could just pivot for 2 seconds, because I think that every time I see you when you come into the showroom, I don't know if there's anyone that has more stories about what they've worn than you've shared with me. So I'm curious. I'm curious to know, because I feel like we've really gotten connected over this last venture.
Yeah.
3+One and owning that business. How do you feel like? Do you feel like that your image and your clothing has had an impact on 3+One or your business or even yourself? Like, how has it had an impact? I'm just curious.
I think when you look at our logo, Peter, and you see color, you've been able to take color and put color into my life. You really have. You have been able to allow me to express myself as an individual that is creative, that dreams. And just like a million dreams, I dream in color, and I really do, as to what the possibilities are. And I think that with how you dress and what you've been able to allow me to do has allowed me to really express what it is that this team is, what the company is, and you make a statement. And people want to know who you are based on how you appear. Sure. And I have to tell you, I have more stories. And I the one that probably continues to come across all the time is when I go like this, everybody asks, what is that? And I go, it's my signature. Oh my God. I got to tell you, signatures made me famous, not because of how I signed it, it's because you put it on every single sleeve of shirt I wear.
You're kidding me.
And I have to, whether I'm on a plane, whether I'm in an airport, whether I'm in a restaurant, people will come up and say, oh my God, I love that. And then they look and they say, you must like red. And I do. And I go, I open up and I said, well, of course I do. And then I show them the socks. I show them everything. And it's, they have the blue shirt with red buttons. It is a statement of confidence. It's a statement of passion. It's a gut feeling saying, I got to try something. And you know what, Peter? You allow me to do that. I'll come in and you'll throw me some things. And I'm like, my gut's telling me that can work. And you'll go, you know what? Let's give it a try. And you do that. And that's all what business is about, is you give it a try. And you know what? It just makes a statement. And you have allowed me that opportunity to make a statement. And I think it just gives you a level of comfort of knowing that this is who I am. And I don't have to even open my mouth. I'm making a statement. And to me, that's what, we want to do as an impact, is knowing, just seeing 3+One, seeing how I look, that makes a statement that hopefully means your life is going to be better as a result of it.
I like that. Yeah. I think, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you don't even have to, you don't have to say anything. You walk into the room and you can make an impact, for sure.
Exactly. You got to see, I got to tell you, Peter, when I go to Saratoga to the races, every year, as you know, I come in and I get a couple jackets to go to the Saratoga races. Sure. I have more people just stop me and say, oh my God, how did you make that color work? We were in, which I love this, we were over at Saratoga and went to Morton's, the steakhouse. Sure. And I'm getting up and walking out, and a woman comes up to me and she pulls on my arm. Excuse me. She goes, you look like you own this place. And I'm going, well, I wish I did. She goes, well, if they're not wearing what you're wearing, then you know what? You should be the owner. But it's just funny because people just will automatically want to make comments. And that, to me, I think is so heartwarming.
Yeah. And I got to believe they treat you different. If you got clothing on, if you got wearing certain things, they just treat you differently.
Well, the part is that not only do I feel like I am making a statement, but it makes a statement about other people, is that I want to do this to show you that I care about you.
Ooh, yeah.
And that to me says I've got respect for you. I have a real passion to make a statement to you. And at the same point to know that I'm hoping that, it's making you happy.
Yeah. Has there been a moment where I feel like, I've heard stories where clothing has opened the doors to, I had one guy, he's convinced that he's, it was because of his clothing he's met his future wife. I've got other guys that they've gone business deals and stuff like that. Has there ever been a moment where like it's opened the door for you for certain, different possibilities or different opportunities?
Oh, Peter, I've got to tell you a story, and this is just priceless. We're working a pretty sizable partnership with an international name.
Okay.
And it needs different approvals and what have you. And there was one person that was involved in the process that I was really looking forward to meeting this person in person. And I was at a wedding down in Florida, and I'm wearing a blue suit with the red tie, just really looking to stand out.
Sure.
And it had polka dots on it and a polka dot handkerchief, and
nice.
I was really pleased. So nice. I'm there, and I'm with somebody from Rochester whose daughter was getting married, and he was saying something, and sort of loud, and he said this certain type of person's going to be like, oh, okay. And Karen looks over, my wife looks over and says, did you hear what the judge just told you? I said, yes, I did. She goes, you know what? You're not listening. Just go and figure out what table we're going to sit at. So I go all the way down to the end of where we are, and it's probably, good 50, 60 feet down. And I get stopped by somebody who started talking to me. And all of a sudden, this individual walked by with the most gorgeous blue jacket with an orange tie, orange pocket square. And I go, oh my gosh. I said, I got to go up and talk to that person. So I said, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but I got to get this person. So he's up at the charcuterie table. Sure. And I went up and I said, I'm sorry, I got to just tell you, I love clothes. That jacket is gorgeous. And I never would have put the orange and the blue together. Yeah. And he started laughing, and he goes, well, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Rochester. He goes, I love your outfit. And he goes, well, I was from upstate New York near Rome. And then I went to University of Rochester. Sure. Great. And I said, tell me a little bit more about you. What's going on? I said, you don't happen to work for this company, do you? And he goes, yeah, I do. And he goes, you are? And I go, well, I'm Joe Rulison with 3+One. He goes, Joe Rulison, 3+One? Do you know who the hell I am? And I go, who? And he told me who he was. And he goes, we were on a conference call and we got to get together. Little did we know we were on a conference call earlier in the week. He was in New York. I was in Rochester, and we both end up at the same wedding, not knowing that we knew each other. He lives across the street from the groom's family. We're very good friends with the bride's family, and it brought us together. And it was nothing else than the color and the clothes that brought the two of us together to have a conversation. And we've been working on an incredible partnership since, but it was all because of looking and wanting to see that person, because that person made a statement and I had to know who that person was. That's all about clothes, Peter.
Wow. That's
he loved it where I got it. He goes, can I ask where you got yours? And I opened it up and I said, Adrian Jewels, the only place to go. He goes, I got to find out who they are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good. So let me ask you something, because it sounds like, obviously, your image, your company, Rochester, like there's a lot of key pillars that are important to you and part of your DNA. In 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, what would you tell, like if you were giving if you had a new hire that came on board for 3+One, what would you tell them? What would you tell them about your, how your image and your look plays a role in not only 3+One, but also, the community?
Peter, I go all the way back to how I got connected with you. And such a dear friend who I miss immensely, David Flom.
Sure.
And David always referred to me as the ruler. And he said, ruler, if you really want to do well and express yourself, then you've really got to have the clothes to do it, because that's success. And he goes, that will make a statement from the moment you walk in.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, have you talked to Peter yet? Have you talked to Peter yet? I go, David, I have. He goes, go talk to Peter. And I remember when I first came in, I said, David has told me I got to come in and see you because you're going to change my life. And you know what, Peter, you did. Wow. And I've got to tell you that there's a direct link towards the success of our company and you and Adrian Jewels. There really is a direct link, because of the fact that the idea of being able to have the confidence to give an image, to give the confidence of success. And that's what I would tell anybody and everybody that, it becomes a member of our team. We're all one. And I put my coats outside my office on a rack where I just hang them. And I have more individuals come up and say, I love that color today. I think that's absolutely great.
Yeah.
And it just sets an example of, I think we've had a number of individuals from our company come in and see you guys. Yeah. And they go in and see Rocco, and they go in and, order some shirts or a suit, and they'll come up and say, oh my gosh, I just ordered, from Adrian Jules, an incredible shirt. And I said, you got the signature, don't you? They go, oh yeah. But it's that part of saying that, if I can serve as an example for others and they can pass on, it's really passing on. And my hope is down the road is, 10 years from now, I'm sure hoping to be here and to be able to set an example. But I think it's setting an example of working together and just knowing that I'm hoping that the examples I was able to set for them are the same like what David did for me, to help mentor and help show what it takes for the success, and just know that we are doing something to make a difference with those that we're serving, and that's the public and higher ed institutions. And if we can make that difference, just imagine how it's going to come back. And I always believe, Peter, that I'm at the very bottom. Everybody's above me. And I believe if I put everybody first, that will trickle down to where we have done our job. And that is that you're never above anybody. You're always alongside, or you're there serving them. And to know that we're going to do everything to make everybody successful, to make their dreams a reality, and to know we're going to create something so great that you'll be able to see exactly where your thumbprint is. You'll be exactly able to see where you are as part of that puzzle to make the grand picture. And we've made one big difference, not only in Rochester, but, in the United States and our vision around the world. So it's all, and that's just like what you've been able to do, Peter, what Adrian Jules has done. Just look at all the people you've touched.
Yeah.
And I bet you there's a direct link, Peter, that if you look at the individuals that you serve, the impact they've had on this community, on the United States and around the world is amazing. And that's because of Adrian Jules. And that's where I just think, and I'm willing to put my signature on it.
Wow, that's, when you put it like that in perspective, just hearing when you're talking about it, I mean, it's, that's pretty powerful. So I thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. That's amazing. So thank you.
Well, you do such a great job that Karen had to go and have a coat made. And she keeps saying, you can't go to Adrian Jules without me being with you. And I keep sneaking in there, Peter. It's just our secret, right, Peter?
Well, listen, I know your time is valuable. I want to ask you one last question.
Sure.
So you've got an array of bunch of different garments, and I'm curious to know, because I don't think I've ever asked you, do you have a favorite? If so, why is it your favorite?
I do, Peter. I actually do. And it's actually one of my new pieces that I have, but you were able to culminate it, in terms of getting it to where I've tried to, slim down a little bit and tried to have it be exactly what I want. But the red jacket that we just got, that I got around the holidays, is exactly the color and everything I wanted. That also goes parallel to the tux. That is for the Greatest Showman. And again, the greatest opportunity to show a pop of color, to be able to know that when you walk in, you make a statement. And at the same point, to know that's how big that I dream and how big I believe that our world can be with it, Peter. And as I told Karen, I'm going to be buried in red. No matter what, I'm being buried in red. I'm going to wear it, and I'm going to be buried in it. And you just have done so much. And again, as you can tell, I love red, but I love the orange. I love the lavender. I love the purple. I love the brown. I love the maroon. I can go through every color. So it's not just red.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that one last thing I'll tell you, Peter. I was in New York City last week, had my green outfit on when I'm in the airport, and this wonderful gentleman comes up out of the blue and just says, I got to tell you, that outfit's absolutely gorgeous. And I said, well, thank you. That's really, really nice of you. And how that makes you feel. Here you are. It's at 9:00 at night. You just want to get home. Yeah. And yet somebody took the time to come over and comment, boy, how that makes your day. And so I will say, my advice left, whenever you see somebody well-dressed, just go up and say, you know what? I absolutely love that outfit, because not only are you making a statement to them, but how it makes them feel in return means so much.
I like that. So, well, awesome, Joe. Thank you again for all of
Peter, my pleasure.
All the tips. It was just been a great opportunity to talk with you. So this was awesome, Joe. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
Well, Peter, I love you dearly. I love Adrian Jules dearly, and I love the clothes. So thank you. The thank you is to you and to everybody there making it possible for me and making dreams become a reality. And I have to tell you, I'll continue dreaming in color, and I'll be coming in for more colors. And as I tell you, Peter, I'm just getting started. So I got to just find more closets, Peter.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Peter. My best to you all. And thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Peter.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
That wraps up another episode of Thread Talks. To dive deeper into the stories and expertise shared today, make sure to check out the show notes for more about our distinguished guests and the exceptional craftsmanship at Adrian Jules Custom Clothier. Loved what you heard? Don't forget to hit 5 stars, leave us a review, and remember, dress to impress today. When you look great, you feel great.